This is a tutorial on creating your Hawks account, accessing your Hawks course materials, and working through the assignments in the Hawks system. So the first thing you'll want to do is log into D2L and access your ENG 101 class. That's the page I'm on right now. From here, you'll select Content in the upper left. And then you'll click into Module 2. And next, select Module Activities. From here, you'll click the link that says click here to launch Hawks SSO. Clicking this link creates your Hawks account and it enrolls you into your class for the term. There's nothing more you need to do to create your account or enroll in Hawks, as clicking that link does all of that for you. So from here on, you have access to the materials for your ENG 101 class for the remainder of the term. So a couple of things I want to note before I hop into navigating the platform and working through your assignments is that you can view your up-to-date Hawks grades here using the Grades button at the top of your screen. From your name drop-down menu here in the upper right, if you select Live Support from the drop-down menu, that's where you can access our 24/7 live chat. So there is always somebody at Hawks who you can get in touch with if a question ever comes up. So I'm sure that your instructor would be happy to help you, but if it is something Hawks related, please just go ahead and direct it to us. You will always be connected with a knowledgeable Hawks employee who will be able to help you. You can also select the Help option here from the drop-down menu. And from this page, if you scroll down to the very bottom, you'll find our phone support hours here. So this number that's listed, 843-571-2825, is a number that you can call Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So that would be 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. for you all. Our chat is available from this page as well. All right, so back over onto your Hawks main dashboard page. The first thing I would like to show you is how you would work through a lesson in Hawks. So as you can see, your lessons are listed here on the main dashboard page. It won't show you everything that's due for this semester. It will just show you those that have upcoming due dates. So this will constantly adjust throughout the term. It might have categories such as overdue, hopefully not if you're keeping up with your assignments, or due today, due tomorrow, due within the week, or due later. So right now everything's due later for me, which is why we're seeing that, but just know that it will adjust to show you what you need to work on at that point in the term. So you can click on a lesson right here from this page and get started, or you can select View Course here in the upper right. So I'll click on lesson 10.2 for this example, but all of our lessons do follow the same recommended learning path. So we would recommend that you begin in the Learn mode. This is a breakdown of your textbook or your ebook content. It has the instructional material for this assignment. It is more interactive, it is more engaging, so we do recommend you spend time in here as it will make working through the practice and certify modes a lot easier. So I'll go into detail there in just a minute. Secondly, we would recommend you move into the practice mode. Practice is just that. This mode is not graded. It is penalty free. You are practicing the types of questions that you will eventually be graded over. Here in the practice mode, you will have help if you need it. Finally, we would recommend you move into the certify mode. Certify is the graded part of this assignment. You do have to complete certify in order to receive a grade for this lesson. So we'll click into Learn first and show you what's included here before moving into the other two modes. So right when you come into Learn, you're brought to the Objectives page. When you click the Next button here over on the right, you'll see you can work through the pages just like you would with an ebook. You'll see key terms, definitions here. You'll see examples. So for example, here we're working on recognizing subject-verb agreement. It's mentioning that all subjects and verbs are either singular or plural, and it goes into some examples and an explanation of what that means. After you review this content, you can test yourself here using the On Your Own. So it says, for each of the following sentences, select the box with the correct verb. The band blank played a fall tour along the West Coast. So either the band has planned a fall tour or the band have planned a fall tour. So you would choose what you think the correct answer is. This is not graded. This is just for you to test yourself as you're working through the learn mode. Let's try has here. Then select check answer, and it will give you feedback. So correct. The collective noun band denotes multiple performers, but the word itself is singular. Therefore, the singular verb has is correct. So you can click next to work through the pages here. I'll just click through a few more as an example. You'll notice that there are some references to where you might use this information and this content in maybe future academic courses, such as in a sociology or anthropology research paper, or maybe in your professional work life moving forward. So business emails often address groups of people using collective nouns, such as marketing department. For example, throughout an email, you may refer to a committee, singular, committee members, plural, or each member of the committee, singular, but consistently use the correct verb form each time you vary the noun. This is just important to know because what you're learning in this course is not only going to benefit you in this course or in future courses, but also in your professional career moving forward. All right, so I'll use the Pages button here in the upper left to navigate to the end of the lesson. You also could use the Pages button if you just needed to brush up in a particular area before moving into the practice and or certify modes. At the end, we do have a key terms page. So this takes all the key terms from all of the Learn screens and puts them all on one page. So it's just a good review for you. And finally, we have a writing application at the end of every lesson. So you can see what you're learning in the Learn mode here and how that would be applied in writing. All right, so when you're done in the Learn mode, select Exit Learn in the upper left, and that's when we would recommend you move into the practice mode. Now, every single practice question that you see here will show up on Certify, which is the graded component. So take time to learn it here. If you see a question that you don't know or you're not sure why you're getting it incorrect, spend time here to learn from your mistakes and practice those questions until you do feel comfortable, because it will show up on Certify. And in Certify, you won't have the help. So I'll skip through to find a question where I may make a common error here. So read the following passage and look for subject-verb agreement. Most animals, especially domesticated livestock and household pets, is creatures of habit. For example, dogs thrive when they are fed, walked, and played with at the same time every day. As humans, we are unique because we enjoy both routine and spontaneity. All right, let's say I think that this final sentence I'm looking for the sentence that has subject-verb agreement. Okay, so let's say I think that this first sentence has subject-verb agreement. When I submit my answer, I can have my error explained. So here it tells me, you were asked to identify the sentences with subject-verb agreement. Your answer is incorrect or incomplete. And it tells me what my answer was up here at the top. It looks like you may not have selected all the correct answers, or you selected a sentence that does not use subject-verb agreement. So at this point, you can go back to the practice mode and you can retry the same version of the question if you know the correct answer at this point. However, if you still could use some help, we have these learning aids here in the upper right. The hint will provide either a relevant definition or an additional example of the concept you're learning here. The Learn mode brings you back to the Learn screens that we were looking at earlier with key terms, examples. And the solution is where we give you the correct answer with an explanation as to why this answer is correct. So here it says, this answer is correct because in these sentences, plural verbs are paired with plural subjects and or singular verbs are paired with singular subjects. So when you look at the two answers above, hopefully that would help it make sense in your mind. And at this point, you could click back to practice and try a similar version of the question. So this button, try similar, down in the bottom right, will generate a new version of that question. And as I mentioned earlier, I highly recommend that you keep trying the types of questions here in the practice mode until you are getting them correct and you're feeling confident with answering them, because this type of question will show up on Certified. All right, so I'll skip to the end just for this example. At the end of a practice session, you're given an overview of how you performed and a recommendation of whether or not you are ready for Certify. So clearly I did not do too well here. I should continue practicing, so I should select this continue practicing button here in the middle of my screen. However, let's say I was getting about 80% of the questions correct, then the system would recommend I move on to the Certify mode. So let's click back to the lesson and go into Certify. Now you'll notice that Certify looks very similar to practice. The question types look very similar. They're over the same sort of content. There are still the same number of questions. There should be no surprises here. If you were doing fine in practice, you should do just fine in Certify. Now there are some key differences here. In Certify, we have removed the tutor button here in the bottom left. We have purposefully removed the learning aids from the graded part of this assignment so that you don't become overly reliant on them. We want to help you learn the content on your own without outside help. That way you can apply what you've learned to your writing. And it's natural if you have the help here in the graded component. Most of us are going to click on it even if we may not need it. So you have access to all of the help in the practice mode with the same types of questions, just different versions, but we do remove it from the graded component for that reason. The other difference is that in the bottom right, we have removed the skip and try similar buttons. In the upper right here, we have a number in the heart. That's how many questions you can miss in this assignment, or how many lives you have in a way, to still pass. So out of the 10 questions here, you can miss 2 and still pass the assignment. And by pass, we mean you get full 100% credit on this assignment. So I'll go ahead and answer a question here to show you what happens when you get a question incorrect in Certify. So let's see, does the following sentence use subject-verb agreement? Every spring, Mrs. Waters plants peonies in the garden. Let's say no. Oops, I got that one right. To create a subject-verb agreement, which word should complete the blank in the following sentence? The well-trained dogs follows the trail of the escaped suspect, or the well-trained dog follows the trail of the escaped suspect. So which one should I enter? The other one. So here I'm prompted to try this question again. Maybe I just misclicked and I actually know the answer. Your course is set up to give you one additional attempt at this question with new versions. So let's try it again. To create subject-verb agreement, which words should complete the blank in the following sentence? The counselor asks many questions before making a decision, or the counselors asks many questions before making a decision. So I'll choose counselors as my incorrect answer. And here I can see the solution or the answer before moving on. You'll notice you no longer have the explain error. So if you are not sure why your answer is incorrect, go back to the practice mode and find that question. That will provide you with the explain error feedback. If you're noticing that you're getting the questions wrong a lot in the certify mode, that's a sign that you probably should go back to the practice mode and spend some time where you have the help if you need it and the explain error feedback. So let's say I want to see the solution, which gives me the correct answer and an explanation as to why that's correct. Okay, and then I can return to certify. You'll notice now the number in the heart is down to 1. So I can only miss one more question to pass this assignment. Now don't worry, it's okay if you ever miss one more than the number in the heart here. So let's go to the next question. I'll show you what happens. So we'll go to the next question. I'll miss one more. Oops, gonna answer it. Okay, so I have to try one more. And when I get that one incorrect, you'll notice that when I go to the next question, I am taken out of the certify mode and you would be asked to go back to the practice mode with a customized set of questions based off of what you were missing. That way you can practice just what you need to. It's only covering the questions that you were missing in certify. If you need help, you can use those learning aids. If you are answering questions incorrectly, you can use the explain error feedback to get a better understanding of why your answer is incorrect. And then when you're ready, you can try certify again. So you're never going to be locked out of the certify mode for a lesson. You have unlimited attempts here at certify. We ultimately just want you to be successful at reaching that mastery level, which is why you get the full credit when you do reach mastery. So it's okay if you don't master the first time. Just go back to the practice mode, learn from your mistakes, and try certify again. There is no penalty for completing a lesson after the due date. If it happens to take you a little bit longer than you thought that it might, plan in advance so that way you have plenty of time to complete them before the due date. But should that due date pass, do not panic. You can still go in and master your assignment. So by mastering these lessons, it will help you have a better understanding of all of this material, and that will help to improve your writing. All right, so going back to your main dashboard page, I do want to highlight this diagnostic assessment. This is something that you'll take at the start of the term. You'll take it just the one time, and it's going to cover all of the lessons and topics that are assigned to you for this quarter. So as you're taking it, try the best that you can. It's okay if you don't know everything on it. It's a diagnostic assessment to see what you do know. So you are in this course for a reason. Likely you still need to practice majority of the content that is covered in this course. However, this is giving you the opportunity to show what you do know. And if by chance you answer 80% of the questions for any lesson on this diagnostic correct, that will give you credit for that lesson. It will be removed from your to-do list and you won't have to complete it throughout the course. So keep that in mind as you're working through it. You do want to give it your best effort, but do not worry if you're not sure how to answer something or what a particular question is asking or what the concept is about. You will learn all of this throughout the term. Again, this is just to see what you do know coming into the course. All right, so as a reminder, if any Hawks related questions do come up, you can contact us from your Hawks account by selecting live support from your name drop down in the upper right, or you can access the help tab here, and that's where you can find our phone support information as well. Never hesitate to reach out. We are always happy to help.